If you were to own one pair of boots, this would be the boot to buy. They're easy to put on with the tab. The pull tab is actually fits your finger. A lot of times, sometimes the pull tab's too small and it's there for show. This is functional. They break in very quickly. The silhouette, when you look down at it, doesn't feel too chunky like many other boots. One of the most interesting things about these boots, I've never had them polished or cleaned or waxed or touched up, and they don't look that bad. A compliment I get a lot on these boots is the color. They're well tanned, and then at the front they actually get quite dark. They do look pretty good in like a dark blue chino or something like a jean. These are the types of boots that you could wear to a wedding or wear to the bar and be comfortable in both settings.
I think my favorite thing about these boots is their look. I was given these a couple years ago, and what's unique about them for me is that they, at the time at least, were unlike anything in my wardrobe. They're blue suede, and Elvis connotations aside, I wasn't quite sure how to wear them at first, but I figured it out, and I just love them to death now.
I was coming out of the subway once and I slipped and fell straight onto my ass in the snow. And then I decided to throw out my current pair of boots. So I went looking and found these. I love how I can just slip these on and off as if I were wearing just like a super casual pair of shoes, but yet they don't look super casual. So I can look a little bit more polished than I want to feel.
So they came with like a giant like crepe sole, almost like gum colored sole. It wasn't really for me. I got this big old Commando Vibrant sole that makes me feel like I can just walk through anything, even though they're quite low. It's like you're walking through, marshland or something, or like a game warden. I really enjoy like having that big chunky sole on the bottom.
When I got them, they were semi-used and the soles were really worn down. They were white, kind of work boot soles. So I went right over here to Mac's Shoe Shop near Flatiron and had these Vibram soles put on it. More hiking kind of style than work boot. And I think what I love about these is that it kind of makes these a really versatile pair of boots. I can literally wear them hiking if I want, or just wear them casually, but I have definitely worn these with a blazer and a tie, and they work great and slosh through a lot of wintry New York puddles in them as well.
So growing up in Atlanta, where it only snows maybe once a year, if that, I was very excited to move to New York City where it actually snows and get to wear the gear that comes with that. So the literal day after I moved here, I went out and bought these boots. I knew these are what I wanted. I had always wanted a pair of Chelseas like this that were a little bit more chunky, and I needed something that I could wear and get wet and wear around in the snow and the rain. So the winter grip soles are really awesome. I can literally walk on ice patches without even thinking twice about it. I have never slipped, as opposed to my wife who has lesser boots and is constantly slipping around. These things have great traction. I love how chunky the profile is. I love the thick sole. And a feature that I really use a lot is the little tab here, because they can be hard to get on because they're Chelseas. But once they're on, they fit really snug, fit really well. Yeah, and I love wearing them.
This is my second pair of Vans Sk8-Hi MTEs. This pair my wife gave me for my birthday last year as a birthday present, as I blew through the previous pair I had because I wear them so much in the winter. The uppers on these are actually a weather-resistant leather, which means they can be wiped clean of any mud, snow, water, and they keep your feet nice and dry.
So I got really into motorcycling a few years ago, and I started scouting around for a boot that looked really good on and off the bike. And what I settled on were the Wolverine Jensen boots. These are just a beautiful USA-made leather boot that functions really great on the bike and looks really good off of it. Two of my favorite features are, one, the cap toe. I just think it's super aesthetically pleasing, and when you're kind of shifting gears on the bike, it's kind of nice to have it as a reference point. And then the second thing I love is that they do have a Gore-Tex lining. They're super warm, and I like to ride my bike as much as possible, even when it's super cold out. And so to have a boot that has a Gore-Tex lining is critical. So for those reasons, I love these boots.
You can't get another boot like this on the market, and it really hasn't changed in practically 150 years. White's Boots was founded in 1853, and they originally made boots for loggers and wildland firefighters. Between the two world wars, they took their most famous style, cut it down with a chainsaw from 10 inches to 6. You still get all the quality in this boot right here, which is a hand-welted construction, a leather midsole and shank, and hand-sewn welt. They just don't make them like this anymore.
I just love the design of these in general. It's hardly specific to these particular boots, but I love the stitching on the toe cap. Also, just a little detail about how they've worn in the little like rivets and bits up here were all like finished black, but they've worn a bit to have a nice like brass color on the inside, which is just the kind of thing that I love. I love paint wearing away to show metal underneath as like as evidence of something like hard worn and well loved.
What I really like about these boots is that when I go to clean the leather, that the tongue of the shoe has been so worn in that the laces have kind of like created their own tracks in the leather. And to me, that is just like what leather is all about, is really seeing how it works with different parts of the shoe over time. And just this history of laces being worn in this shoe to me is just amazing. And also this leather has been almost been pounded down through the many years of wearing these boots. And it's just so soft. It's one of the softest part of the leather on the shoe, and I just love it.
So what I really love about these boots is the color of them, and they're super easy to dress up or dress down. This like brown/olive color, which is what they are called online, is just really versatile, and I enjoy wearing them throughout the fall, winter, and probably into spring of next year.
These are the only leather boots that I have. That's why they're my favorite. First of all, I really like how they fit, but they generally have this kind of more refined feel than a lot of boots. So they have this two-tone kind of thing going on with the leather and the suede. The leather shoelaces are also kind of a nice touch. And overall, they're super comfortable, kind of like a baseball glove on your foot.
They had this little tab on the website called Last Pair, which means they have one last pair of whatever model of boot that is, and they had these, and they happen to be in my size. These are as soft as they look, like kind of almost furry, you know? They're extremely comfortable. I really like this part on the heel. There's like a really thick stitching. It just looks definitely unique. There's nothing else that looks like these, and you know, when you're buying boots, you're definitely buying for the aesthetic, and it's right here.
I got these boots for myself as a gift when I moved to New York for this job. They're from I can't afford these boots at retail, frankly, or perhaps I could if I was responsible with my money, but I'm not. So I bought them at a secondhand store in Soho. My favorite thing about this boot is not necessarily how it looks, although I think it looks pretty good, and I can wear it with jeans, I can wear it with slacks, I can wear it with most things, kind of dressed up or down, very versatile. Beyond those things, which I kind of find to be like the baseline measures of what I want out of a boot, it has easily the best arch support, sort of around the middle of your foot that I've ever had in a boot before. Wearing them all the time, wearing them especially in New York where you're walking absolutely everywhere, it becomes not problematic at all, which is surprising to me for a boot, which type of footwear that is not necessarily known for comfort over long walks. So that is why I love them. They're the perfect New York boot, but to my mind, and I should probably clean them.